afternoon, folks. Big Bo with RVs with Big Bo at Parkway RV Center. Got another Class C motorhome we're going to review today. Guys, I know I've been doing a lot of Class C's lately. That's because that's where the market's at. We've been selling a ton of these things, and we've got a ton of them. As you can see, these are all Class C motorhomes, all pre-owned. I'm talking about stretched. Oh, there's a few Class B's over there. I'm talking about going all the way around, starting as low as $19,900 with slide outs. Now, some of these are already sold, have deposits on them, but just to give you an idea, we've got the biggest selection in the Southeast in one location of used Class C motorhomes. So that's why I've been doing a lot of these, and I got more on the way. You know, with fuel prices like they are, people are moving more toward these Class C motorhomes and this and travel trailers. So that's why I've been doing a lot of these. And I've got one today that, let's just say, it's pretty interesting. It's a great buy for what it is, but it has miles on it, and that's why the price is what it is. This is a 2013 Thor 4 Winds 31K, and it's 32.5 feet long, and it has 92,000 miles on it, guys. So this is not one that's been sitting a lot of time between uses, let's just say that. We drove it several hundred miles and it did great. And yes, I am going to drive it at the end of the video just to show you. Now, guys, miles on these things scare a lot of people. It doesn't scare me. In fact, my own personal motorhome has got 87,000 miles on it. I don't bother me as long as it's been taken care of. It doesn't bother me to buy one with miles. In fact, I personally would rather have one that's been used than been sitting. And this particular one right here, guys, the dash air is cold. There's no check engine lights. It's got almost brand new tires on it. You know, it's got a lot going for it, and you can't beat that price for a 2013. I know a lot of these I've been doing have been in the 50s and 60s. This one right here is only $42,900. And guys, here's the thing, you can look up NADA, even adjusting for the miles. Now, 2012 on NADA was last year, the 31K. Even though I have the title in-house to this, that clearly shows it to be a 13. But NADA on a 2012 4 Winds 31K with no added options and adjusting for the miles is 15 grand more than I'm asking for this, and that's on a 12 model. This is a 13. Let me flash that up real quick. And so even if you add 10% more for this being a year newer, which this is pretty common with the NADA, and what this is my theory, I think what happens a lot of times, manufacturers swap the year model over from 12 to 13, and they have a few 31Ks left unfinished. So they go ahead and finish them and just release them as a 13 model, but just not enough to report to NADA. In fact, when you go on RV Trader, there's only one other 31K on there, and it's a 12 model, and it's $22,000 more than this 13 model. Of course, now it's got lower miles. It's got 40,000 miles, but it's $22,000 more for a year older motorhome, just like this. So, you know, it's different ways of looking at it. Yes, it's got high miles, but you're saving $20,000+ for those high miles. So, I don't know about you, but I can pretty much, for the $20-something thousand you're saving, I mean, you can replace pretty much anything you want to replace on this motorhome and still have a ton of money left in your pocket. These V10s, I've seen them well over 200,000 miles, still running strong. I've seen rental RVs with well over 200,000 miles on them, still running strong with the V10s. I mean, what's 100,000 miles in this day and age on anything? I mean, that's just vehicles now just get broke in when they get to 6 figures, and this thing's still under 100,000 miles, got 92,000. So, you know, you're saving more than enough money to pay for any repairs that may arise, you know, over the next several years that you're going to own this because of the mileage. And I bought mine the same way. Yeah, would I have liked to have bought one with half the miles? Sure, but I would have paid twice the price for it. And that was my logic. Well, for the money I'm saving, I can fix anything that comes up, and you know what, guys, it's worked out great. And plus, I'm getting something that I don't have to worry about seals being dry rotted or leaking from not being used, from sitting for years at a time, and other issues that motorhomes can have from sitting and not being used. So, like I said, there's pros and cons either way you go, but the main pro is the price. $42,900. You're buying a 13 for the price of a 2007 or a 2008 model because of the miles, and you've got a ton of life left to it. And yeah, we are going to drive it here in a little bit. But anyway, I do have the generator going. I got the AC blowing cold on the dash and the roof. I've got refrigerator cold, big slide, 31K. It's good floor plan, you know, traditional rear bedroom. One thing I'm going to do to it, I do have some reupholstery work to do to it that I'm going to do for you at no additional charge, but I wanted to go ahead and film it before we take the stuff out of it, so you can see what it's going to look like when it's finished, of course, with new upholstery. Got TPO roof system. It's got a 4 kW Onan generator, cranks right up, runs great. It does have the V10, does have a 5,000 pound tow capacity, backup camera, got power awning, 32.5 feet long, 30 amp electrical service, of course. And you can see, guys, the stripes to finish to be a 10-year-old motorhome looks great. Don't really see any delamination or anything like that. It's got the lower profile entrance way, so you don't have to worry about a step. Ford E450 chassis, Torqueshift transmission. It's got all the right equipment. Let's look inside. And you know, I mean, it's got a couple of modifications. I guess the main one being is the previous owners, or one of the previous owners, removed the sleeper sofa and did like a lot of people did. You know, a lot of people removed the sleeper sofa and they put a couple of, they either put theater seating or 2 recliners. They put 2 recliners. And I do have the table for this. They put it in the back bedroom. They've removed the table. It's all back there. I just didn't put it back in. Now, I am going to have these dinette cushions and all this trim work recovered. It's flaking furniture like most of them, so you can see what it looks like. I'm going to spend probably about $1,000 to have all this redone for you. And I'm either going to recover or replace these 2 recliners. I'm not sure yet, because they're starting to do the same thing. And all that's going to be done for that low $42,900 price, which, I mean, my gosh, folks, you're buying this thing 15 grand under book for one a year older. And 92,000 miles, no check engine. I got the brake light on, just where we got it parked. You do have a full-size to queen-size bed in the Cabover. Refrigerator freezer was left. You can see the cold coming out of it, or maybe you can. It was left on gas last night after they cleaned it up. So it is, yeah, you can see it right there. It is ice cold, no worries there. And clean. I'm on a little bit of a slope right here. That's why these drawers won't stay shut. Been driving me crazy. But you do have a 3-burner stovetop, which, hey, for 92,000 miles looks pretty darn good. I don't think it's been cooked in much. You know, a lot of people don't cook in these things. You do have a microwave. You do have a, I'm gonna say a 13.5 ducted roof air, but it feels ice cold. You've got a fold-up table that goes in front of your chairs, or whatever I wind up putting here. I'm probably gonna go back with 2 recliners. Problem is, I'm not gonna be able to match that color, so more than likely I just may have those recovered. And I mean, the ceiling looks good. Close to, it's 6'10", I think, high clearance, almost 7 foot tall in here. Interior height. You got a place for a TV right here on the corner cabinet. Split bath. heat and air controls right here. This is your cushion for your booth bed, and there's your tabletop right here. Queen bed in the back. I've got some overhead storage, vent fan. I mean, no signs of water intrusion. You can see right here, guys, the shower's not even bleached yellow from the sun. So obviously, that when this thing wasn't being used, I think it was covered up or kept under some kind of storage or something like that. Water closet is looks good. Got the upgrade porcelain toilet. Got a vent with a fan in it. Double medicine cabinet. Place for a TV here in the bedroom with a mount. You got a little privacy curtain if you want to separate your bedroom from the bathroom and the rest of the RV. And I know this may not be for everybody, but I'm looking at the price. You know, let's just say, even though I don't look for this to be an issue for probably for the whole time you own this thing, but let's just say you had to replace a motor because of the price, because of the miles, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think you can buy this thing and drive it for years and years and years before you and probably never have this issue. But let's just say you did have to replace a motor. I mean, for the $20,000+ you're saving, you can put a motor in for less than half that. This is not a Class A motorhome, guys. If you have to replace a motor, it is a lot less inexpensive to replace it on a Class C because it still has the Ford van front end chassis. You can actually R&R the motors a lot cheaper, a lot less labor than you can a Class A. Class A, you pretty much got to take the whole body off the chassis to replace a motor. These, I mean, everything's just like a truck, like replacing a motor in a truck. I mean, you can get to everything from the hood and underneath it, and you know, of course, it's been a while since I've had to replace a V10, but you know, depending on where you want to go. If you go with a new motor, you know, if you go with a used motor, you can a few $1,000s, you can replace a motor. New motor, you might spend $8,000 or $9,000 or $10,000, depends on where you take it to, guys. You know, always go with the independent mechanic or independent garage. Is always going to be your best buy over, like, say, a big corporate independent, a big corporate repair facility. But like I said, I don't foresee that happening with this. It's still not, you know, the NADA actually, even on a 13 model or a 12 model, actually added for the mileage. Because it actually considered 92,000 miles low on a motor, on a 2012 motorhome. So, like I said, this has only got 5,000 more miles in mine. And for the price, I wouldn't let that even be a worry. But then again, guys, I'm more experienced with RVs and buying RVs than probably most of y'all are. Plus, I'm sitting here in it, looking at it, and I think that goes a long way versus just looking at it on video or pictures. So, you know, come out and look at this unit for yourself and test drive it and be your own judge, or hire a third-party inspection service to do it as well, so that way you get a better idea. A few $100s, that way you know before deciding to buy it or not buy it. You know, for that $42,900 price, on top of doing all this upholstery work, which is going to be pretty expensive, we will also do our inspection. We make sure the major systems work. Our major systems are the refrigerator and freezer. We make sure they get to operating temperature, which I'm pretty sure you saw that work from the you can see where the cold met the hot, and you know, from the freezer. So you know that works. We guarantee the roof air to get cold, which it is. We guarantee the slide to work, which I'm going to slide that in here in a minute. We guarantee the running and driving, which we'll drive that here in a minute. We guarantee the generator to run, which it obviously is. And we guarantee the water system. So what we're going to do is we'll put water on it We'll make sure there's no plumbing leaks. We'll make sure your water heater works and fires up and gets hot. We'll make sure that all your faucet, spigot, toilet, and all that stuff works. Make sure your water pump works. And if there's any issues with any of those problems, we're going to fix it before you take it. I mean, that's as fair as we can be and still sell this for $42.9. Like I said, guys, there's not a 31K on RV Trader even remotely close to this price in any year model. And I'm talking within 20 grand. So this is it's a great deal for those of you who are open-minded enough to look past the 92,000 miles and look at the price, because the price more than reflects the actual miles on the odometer. And I know not everybody wants to buy, and I get it. Hey, if you've got enough money, you'd rather spend another 20 grand to get one with lower miles, and then by all means, there's other ones out there. But you know, if you want to save 20 grand, buy something with years of life left to it, and still save 20 grand, this is your opportunity. Have brand new upholstery in it that you won't have to worry about flaking. You'll have come with our basic inspection for $42,900, haggle-free firm, and no fees. Well, plus applicable sales tax, and of course Georgia residents, there is a $50 to $100 highway impact fee and a $40 to $50 tag and title fee. That's Georgia residents only. All out-of-state residents, you don't have to worry about that. So, but guys, you know, this is Parkway RV Center. We got the lowest prices in the country on used RVs. I've proven that time and time and time and time again. You don't believe me? I want you to proofread everything I say. Get online, look up 31K 4 Winds by Thor, compare prices, compare the fact that unlike other dealers, I don't charge fees. Look at brand new ones. I mean, one of these, the equivalent of this in a 2022 4 Winds is 3 times this price. 3 times. And this do everything a new one will do for 1/3 the price. Anyway, guys, $42.9. If you're interested in it, give us a call at 706-965-7929. Please call before coming to look. Make sure it's available. We do have financing available with approved credit and down payment, and we take trade-ins. We do offer delivery service as local or nationwide for $2 a loaded mile. And if you've got questions about that, you've got trade-in, general questions about the RV or what we cover on our checkout, what we don't cover, our sales process, or really anything else, guys, give us a call at 706-965-7929. Always call before coming to look to make sure it is available. If you want to have a third-party inspection service, come out and take a look at it. Just kind of coordinate everything with your salesperson. Best way to reach us, as always, if not in person, is by phone. You can certainly email us, but guys, you know, with the a lot of times emails don't get answered as quick as phone calls. We're so busy. I only have so many salespeople. I got a couple out on vacation this week, so do us all a favor and just please call instead of email, and call during business hours only, which are 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Saturday Eastern time. Then close Sunday for the Lord's Day and Family Day for our employees, and we are closed most holidays, which I don't think we got any really major holidays coming up, besides Monday, but we'll be open for that. It's my birthday. But anyway, sorry about that, guys. I had to do a quick battery swap, but what I was getting at, guys, I'm going to pause the video for a minute again and bring the room in and show you how to do the slide out procedure. Then I'll see if one of my guys can take a test drive with me if they're freed up, and we'll drive it down the road just so I can show you how it feels, give you my honest opinion about how it drives. Like I said, we drove it several hundred miles, so I don't think there'll be an issue there. But then again, I haven't driven it, so it'll be the first time that I've driven it, and I'll be right there on film. You'll be right there on film with me. So hang tight. Let me bring this room in, and I'll show you what it looks like, show you the procedure, and stay tuned. All right, really simple slide out procedure, and you always want to do your standard stuff. Like, main thing you want to do is make sure there's no obstacles in your way before sliding your slide out in or out. And those include making sure there's no drawers or cabinets open where your slide out goes in or out. When you're bringing it in, you want to make sure your outside bays are all shut. You want to make sure your driver's seat is slid up. And in this particular one, of course, motor off, parking brake set on. And you go over here to your control panel by the door. And you've got a slide out button right here. And just retract, press it and hold it. And as always, with any slide out, either put it all the way in or all the way out so that seal can connect, keep the water out. And you can see, guys, full access to everything. In fact, I don't even think we really blocked anything with the room in. I mean, got full access. There's really no cabinets or anything right here to block, so I can walk through it, access to everything. So this is a good floor plan for those of you who are worried about space when their slide out is in. So, yeah. Anyway, let's pause the video for a minute, get in the driver's seat, get a salesperson, take it for a drive, and I will see you back in just 1 second. All right, everybody, now we're going to test drive this 2013 Thor Wind 31K, and got my good buddy Joe and Bo Driving Show, and give him a call, a text anytime if you got questions about this motorhome. Joe, what's your number, buddy?
It's 423-702-1310.
And he likes those late night phone calls, so give him a call anytime. His wife does too. And we're gonna get on pulled out of here. See what this thing can do. And had some storms earlier, but wound up being a decent day. Problem is I hate going out this way because it's a pretty busy intersection right here. Let's see what this thing can do going up this hill. Definitely got that V10, that nice throaty sound. I mean, that motor sounds the same if it has 92,000 miles or 9,200 miles on it. Of course, now this is a bigger C-class, so it's not going to go up this hill as fast as some of the smaller ones we've done. But I mean, we're doing 45 easy enough, 50. And we're going to take it up the interstate, try the cruise control. Dash air's good. I'm not pulling or anything. I don't feel a lot of play in the front end. And we'll definitely get on just a little bit when we get on the interstate. This is an uphill ramp. And of course, anytime you get on the interstate, you want to be able to get on it a little bit. Well, 60 if these people will get over. Well, 60, we could have gone a little bit faster, but people wouldn't move up out of my way, so I had to slow down a little bit. Power's good. A little busy right in this section. Let's try the cruise control. Cruise works. I don't feel like it's pulling to the left or the right. The transmission's shifting good to me. Again, guys, I don't feel a lot of play in the front end, which actually pretty surprising with 92,000 miles. I would expect a little bit more play in the front end. I'm not getting blowed around by these trucks. I'm actually pretty surprised. I was expecting it to drive a little differently with the miles. This actually drives like a lower mileage motorhome. So yeah, guys, we'll try the brakes here when we get off the exit. Let's see how they feel. Make sure we ain't got no rotor problems or anything like that. Make sure we don't have no pull in or no. Brakes are good. All my gauge, temperature gauge is great. Guys, come drive it for yourself if you're interested in this coach. I don't think you're going to have an issue with it. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how good it drives for the price and the miles. Honestly, if I had a piece of tape of that odometer, you would never guess I had 92,000 miles driving it. And if this is something you think you're interested in, give Joe a call or a text. And Joe, your number one more time?
423-702-1310.
And thank y'all for riding with us, guys. It's a lot of fun as always. And smash a thumbs up. Feel free to comment, share on social media, hit that subscribe button. And come out and visit with us. Thanks again, and look forward to seeing you here in beautiful Ringgold, Georgia.